Good morning. Today is 4/16. You also have a test. Should be open. You have through Monday. Do not miss it. Monday is the deadline. All right, let's take a look here. Let's graph these. This one right here says all your x's are -2. So make some points and put your x's as -2. Once you put your x's as -2, you can choose whatever you want for the y's. I usually choose easy ones. Now let's see how that looks. -2 up 0. -2 up 1. -2 up 2. This is a vertical line. Next one, y. Choose some points. Here you're going to let your y equal 1. You can pick whatever you want for the x's. So let's graph that. Over 0, up 1. Over 1, up 1. Over 2, up 1. That is a horizontal line. Okay? This one right here, the y-intercept is 0. So you're going to draw a graph, and you're going to put a 0 right here. The slope is down 2, to the right 3. That is a negative slope. It's going down. Now, speaking of slope, today we're going to do something called slope formula. So draw that diagram. Identify where point A and point B is. So point A is located at over 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. And B is located at over 0, down 1. Okay? So the formula is slope, that's what the M stands for, is y minus y over x minus x. Copy that down. So if I see a 4 at the top, I know it's wrong because 4 is an x. So you're going to do y minus y. And it doesn't matter which way you go. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to say y minus y. So 2 minus, this y is a negative, so it's 2 minus a -1 over 4 minus 0. That gives me a plus, so I get 3 over 4. Now let me just prove it to you. This one is rise 3. So if I start at this point, 1, 2, 3, up 3, that's my rise, check. And my run is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, check. So I could have used the diagram, rise over run. If you go the other way, this would be a -3, and this would be a -4. And -3 over -4 equals a positive 3 over 4. That's how you do it with the diagram. But we're using the formula. Let's do one more. Today you have this worksheet right here, and I do have the answers, but I do want to see the work. Okay? We may watch a little video on how to do slope other than my work here. Okay? So let's take a look here. For number 1, right here, and that's the one we're going to do. Number 1. Okay? We're going to go ahead, let me make that a little bigger for some of you in the back. We're going to say slope equals something minus something over something minus something. Now remember the y's go at the top. So it's going to be -16 minus negative 15. You know what some kids do? They use both of these, like this minus this. That's wrong. You got to go from this one to that one. And then 19, and you got to go in the same direction, 19 minus a negative 7. When you do that, that becomes a plus. So that gives you a negative 1 over, this becomes a plus, and that gives you 26. And that's the answer. There it is. Remember, you can have the negative in the middle, at the top, or you can put it at the bottom if you want, but not both places. Okay, that's all we're doing today. Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. Let's work this problem right here. This is number 16 right here. So what we're going to first do is change this to a 1 by dividing by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 5 divided by 2 is going to be a little sloppy because it's a fraction. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. We're going to leave the second one the same. Now we're going to multiply the first one by a negative 3 and then add it to the second one. Remember, we're trying to get row echelon form. So the top one stays the same. Okay? But the bottom one, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 3 is 0. A negative times a negative, that's going to be a positive. Let me write it over here. A positive 15 over 2. Right here. 3 times 5. This is going to be minus 7 over 1. The least common denominator is 2, so it's going to be 15 over 2 minus 14 over 2, which equals 1 over 2. So what you're going to get here is a positive 1 over 2. And then finally, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, but plus that 1 is going to be a negative 2. Now, to get it in row echelon form, the only thing you have to do is get rid of this fraction and make it a 1 by multiplying by 2. So the top one stays the same. And the bottom one is going to change because we're going to multiply by 2. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2, but 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then this times this is a negative 4. And we're done. And there it is. That is echelon form, where these diagonals are 1, and this is a 0. Now, if you wanted to work it, you would say y equals negative 4, and then this one would be 1x minus 5 over 2y is equal to 1. And then you'd have to substitute and solve that equation. All right? Today we're talking about matrices, so copy down everything you can see right here. Copy all of that down. This is in your book if you want to follow. All right, so in order to be equivalent matrices, every element must be the same. In other words, this must be equal to this. So A1 would have to be the same as 2. And A2 would have to be the same as negative 1. And A3 would have to be the same as negative 3. And A4 would have to be the same as 0. If every element in this matrix is equal to this one in the corresponding positions, then they are said to be equal matrices. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to add. Adding, notice this is a 2 by 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. And so is this one. So all you do is add up each element in the same position here. So 1 plus that negative 1 is actually going to be 0. Negative 2 and 4 is going to be 2. This one and 5 is going to be 8. And then this one is going to be 7. And there it is. And that's how you add matrices. Real simple. This one right here is multiplying by a scalar. So copy this one down. So this is saying 2 times a. So all you're going to do here is multiply every element by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Real simple. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 0, and 2 times 4 is 8, and you're done. And you did that, and you multiplied by a scalar. On this one, it's saying negative. So all you do is change all these signs. So for this one right here, you're just going to put a negative 1, a negative 2, a negative 3, etc., and you're done. Now, of course, you can't have a negative 0, but there it is, and that's multiplying by a scalar, and that is example 3 in your book. Adding and subtracting is pretty easy. Subtraction works the same way, just so you know. Now look up here. Here's what I want you to do today. I want page 517, 1 through 22, and then when you're done, I want to see you reading, so do not close your book. If you close your book early, you will lose points, okay? I can't have that, all right? Read, do some other work, okay? But here, I want you to take notes as well. All right, have a good morning. I'll see you guys in class.